So this is going to be a little bit of a tough subject to talk about. I mean, it's like revealing some of my vulnerabilities that I would keep private, but I think it's good time to express them now to you lovelies. I've been thinking about to do this video for a while now, but I don't know, I just keep delaying it. So we all know there's like a slight stigma and hesitation when the word antidepressants comes around. It's such a personal experience and it takes guts to talk about it. So there's something that you lovelies may not know about me if you've been watching my videos, or if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Rima. I've been having antidepressants for about 8 years now. It all started in the year 2013 when I finished my college. I was a little overworked getting my grades, and my dad at the time, who I've known to have like a mental illness like throughout his life, just had this major like psychotic episode in that year, and it was like the worst one he ever had. A lot of drama and things happening at home, and also I was going in and out of hospitals, and there were some legal dramas that also was caused because of my dad, because he was just very mentally unstable at that time. And I think just the combination between my studies and my dad's health, it just affected me terribly. At the time I was having some like family issues too, because I was just studying so hard, I was not getting any break, and there was like a lot of arguments and noise, like so much stuff happening at home that I just could not concentrate. It was just bothering me so much to a point that I ended up getting like anxiety. I had like paranoia of like little things like around me, and like the worst was like I would just lock myself in my room and I would just cry so hard, literally till my face would hurt, because I didn't like how I became to myself, and I also didn't like how my family saw me, because I was just such in a very dark place. And I became frustrated because I did not understand why I wasn't just being normal. And what I mean by that is like I could see my mom and my sister, they're like mentally, emotionally quite strong, and I was just so inward and so sad. And why is it that I just couldn't snap back to being, just okay? There was some damage also done by me too. What I mean by that is like I was causing some emotional pain to my mom and my sister, because here they are, handling with my dad's like mental health, and here I am also just with depression, and it's obvious that I needed some help at that time too. And it's like they didn't know what to do with either of us. It was just like a very tough year. But with time, there is a flip side to this story, so it's not all bad. During that year, as my dad was in the hospital getting help with his condition, here was my mom, and she was giving her best to help me as much as she could, and she was like the one who truly never left my side. I know it was like very tough on her, but she really knew how to get through to me during that time. And I remember we would go out for these walks outside, and just like a change of sceneries would really help me be back on my feet again. I mean, there are so many reasons, but I'll forever be grateful for her, because if it wasn't for her, I was just pretty much just feeling quite stuck. So much of my emotional frustration at the time in life was, I remember, it was like the tangle of thoughts. What I mean is like the tangle of thoughts that you have when you feel very, very low. And for some reason, I just couldn't get myself out of it. It was just so hard to tackle at that time, and I was just very much consumed by it. That's when I started having the course of my antidepressants daily. And I remember like at some point, the only thing that remotely entangled my depression at the time was like those little like small amount of stimulants and exercise, like the little joys that I would say that I started to really see at that time. They were like great distractions for my low and like depressed feelings that I remember. Is if I could bring myself to do it, because I was just so exhausted regardless, and I just found it difficult to accomplish anything, but every day was different. The little joys that I would say that helped me found my passion in creativity, such as like little poems that I would write about my feelings, and create little videos about anything, and of course my art, which was like another passion that I've had ever since I was young, like since I was school, and it's developed since then. It's like I just can be in control of my own little world, whatever I create on paper. It was just something that kept me going, if you know what I mean. During the antidepressant jumpstart, There were first few rough days. I would think this is like a nonsense medication. It's not gonna flip my life around. It's not gonna do anything. But I did start to realize it would start to lessen my anxiety, and I start to feel a bit better. I was then seeing a psychologist too during that time to work on more deeper rooted issues, which was a little scary and I was a bit hesitant, but it was quite helpful. I've been through many ups and downs, and my dad passed away also. Just in general, that I'm able to pick myself up a lot over the years, all on my own. I feel I have the capacity to do that now. It's anyway funny because the ones that have seen me be at my lowest point sometimes now ask me for advice and also turn to me for luck, which is like, I don't know, it's like a blessing because I've been able to turn my life around and I'm thankful for that every day. However, there is that one question that is there at the back of my mind, and I'd be like, do I still need the antidepressants? As of lately, it's become much more of a placebo because I just feel like I've become so much into my own. Though, despite every day is not a great day, I do feel I have the remote control over the many emotions that I have in my life to not be back at that place again that I was all those years ago. I also have these type of questions that always come to my mind that are people seeing the person I am now because of the effects from the antidepressants I take daily? Or are people seeing me because I really have come into my own and it's not the medication talking anymore? I hope that made sense. It's a little scary because I also have like one of these fear, like if I wean myself off of it slowly, my antidepressants, like with time, do I have to be so diligent of my emotions and possible triggers that may pull me back in that place again? It's just like a little bit of like a fear that I have. But of course, there is this immense confidence that I have within myself that, for my passion for creativity and just living life, like the gratitude for life that, hopefully is much more stronger than the effects of the medication, that I still maybe be better without it. So yeah, that is it on this one. I hope you got so far to the end of this video. I always love reading your comments, so I would love to know your story. Like if you know anyone or if it's you who had like depression or anxiety. So like feel free to comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are about this video. And I see you lovelies next week. Take care.